3D modeling. 1. Remove the pin. First, open the Metashape file, which is located in the Model folder. Select the pin. With R, you select a rectangular, with C a circular, and with F a freeform selection tool. I use a circular one. You can use Shift plus F to isolate the selection. Delete the rest of the pin. Shift plus R to reset filter. Check how it looks. I'm happy with that. Now we do the same on the bottom. Check if it looks good. Don't forget to save the file. Now we export the model. Add a folder called Metashape. Save the model in the folder. Be sure you have selected millimeter. Check the rest and export it. Two, repair the holes. Open the file with Meshmixer. Double-click on the edge of the hole to select the border. Press F to fill it up. Fill every hole to close the mesh. Again. If the hole is too narrow, it doesn't feel good. I'm going to delete some rows to create a bigger hole. Worked good. Once I have fixed all obvious defects, I check it again with the inspector tool. Every arrow is a defect. There are many. Press Auto Repair All and we are good to go. Three, clean the mesh. I check the Metashape model to get an overview where and how much dirt on the insect is. There is something like a hair. I cut out the big particles and close the gaps like holes. Double-click on the island to select it. Make sure that there is no mesh bridge. Can't fill it because there is an overlapping mesh, the hole with the red border. So I'm going to delete the overlapping area. Now it works. Make sure to disconnect the particles from the body. Now I edit the surface with the Sculpt tool. I find Robust, Smooth, and Adaptive Reduce to be the best. I use Adaptive Reduce and Robust Smooth as the secondary brush. Activate your secondary brush with Shift. Try out the different brushes and find your favorite. In this tutorial, we'll be modeling a Formica lugubris, also known as the mourning ant. This species is not only fascinating because of its distinctive appearance, but also because of its intriguing behaviors and complex social structure. Let's take a look at some interesting facts that will help us create a realistic model. The Formica lugubris is an ant species commonly found in cooler, temperate regions of Europe, particularly in coniferous forests and mountainous areas. It thrives in very specific environments, which is important to understand when designing the setting for our model. By capturing these details, we can make our scene more authentic. Like most ant species, the Formica lugubris lives in a highly organized colony. At the top of the colony is the queen, the only reproductive member responsible for producing eggs. The workers, on the other hand, maintain the nest, care for the brood, and gather food. What makes this species particularly interesting is the strict division of labor within the colony. This hierarchical organization is a perfect example of how nature fosters cooperation for survival. 4. Repairing over-smoothed mesh. I like to repair the over-smoothed mesh to get a natural look. For that, I mostly use the spike tool with low strength and size. I would recommend an auto clicker. I use OP auto clicker. it doesn't really work because there isn't enough mesh. So I'm going to refine the area. Let's give it another try. And it works. I like the look. I also often need the drag tool to push points in or out. Let's give it a final smooth. Always check if it really is dirt or a feature of the insect. Done. Let's export the model. Create a Meshmixer folder. Five. Reduce the triangles. To make the file lighter, we need to reduce the triangles. Select the whole insect, go to Edit, and then to Reduce. As you can see, there are 2.19 million faces. I want around 1 million. I use 48%. Accept it. And export it again. Open Metashape and import the reduced model. As always, in millimeters. Now we have 1.32 million faces. That's okay. Sixth, build texture. Select your model, go to Workflow, and build texture. Build your texture with these settings. Now you have the original texture on your model. The texture is pretty dirty now and needs to be cleaned. We can also see the pin. So let's export it to clean it in Photoshop. Add a folder called Texture. Name the first file Diffuse Original with Alpha. Choose PNG. Save the alpha channel. Now we do the same again, but without the alpha channel. Call it Diffuse Original and save it as a PNG. Remove the alpha channel checkmark. 7. Clean texture. First, open the diffuse map with Photoshop. Name your layers. Drag and drop the diffuse map with alpha on top. I already pre-named the layer. I add a solid color layer in the background. Now I start to remove dirt with the spot healing brush tool. The Formica lugubris is a carnivore, meaning it hunts other insects and smaller animals. The ants usually hunt in groups, using their sharp mandibles to overpower their prey. When modeling the head, pay close attention to the mandibles. They're large and powerful, which is a defining feature of their aggressive behavior. In addition to hunting, these ants also have a fascinating defense mechanism. When their colony is threatened, they can release formic acid, a chemical substance that helps them ward off invaders. This chemical defense is just one of the ways they protect their colony and make them effective warriors. Another remarkable feature of the Formica lugubris is its symbiotic relationship with certain fungi. These ants cultivate fungi inside their nests, which helps break down organic material. The fungi make food resources more accessible to the ants. Starting a colony for Formica lugubris is a slow process. A queen needs several years to establish a stable colony. The queen's polyandry ensures a high genetic diversity within the colony as she mates with multiple males. This genetic variation allows the colony to adapt and thrive in changing environments. While the Formica lugubris might seem unassuming, it plays an important role in the ecosystem. These ants help with soil aeration and the breakdown of organic material, which are vital processes for maintaining soil health and nutrient cycles. It makes sense then to place their nest in a forest environment reflecting the natural habitat of the ants. Final check. Export the diffuse map. Eight. Remove pin. Look where the pin could be. You can check it on the model. I can't see the pin on the belly in the diffuse map, so I'm going to open Blender. Export your model with texture. Import the model, wavefront OBJ. Set forward axis to -y. Go to Shading and load your cleaned diffuse map in the Image Texture node. Open Texture Paint. Choose a clearly visible color. Overpaint the pin on the model. Now you can see it clearly in the diffuse map. Do the same on the belly. Now I open Photoshop and repair the spots where the pin was. I like to use the Clone Stamp tool, where you can choose a reference point with Control. When you are finished, export your diffuse map and load it again on the model. Open Model Viewer in your browser to have a better look at your model. Export your model as a GLB. Create a GLB folder and save it. Drag and drop your GLB file into Model Viewer. And check it. It looks good. Nine, Texture Paint. Some places that also need to be cleaned up are overlooked in the diffuse map. I'm going to open Texture Paint again. Here I found a dust particle. I use the Clone tool, which can be operated with Control like in Photoshop. Save the Blender file. Create a Blender folder. Color your diffuse map. Export your clean diffuse map. Make sure to select the right diffuse map. Export your model as a GLB and check the colors in the model viewer. Open a new Photoshop file and load your clean diffuse map. Always name your layers for a good overview. I like to adjust the colors with the Curve tool. Let's open Metashape and have a look at the pictures. Compare the colors of your model with the pictures. I'm adjusting the colors with the Curve. Pretty happy with that. Let's export it. Save it in the texture folder. Open Blender and load your final diffuse map. Export a GLB and check your color adjustments. Looks good. Keep in mind there isn't any gloss yet. 11th, create a normal map. Open Affinity Photo and import your cleaned diffuse map. Drag and drop the normal map generator. Press Load Bump Map and open your diffuse map. You can adjust the strength with texture intensity. You have to delete the logo layer. Adjust it, check it, and export it. Open Blender. Add a normal map and an image texture node. Then load your normal map and connect them. We don't want color on the normal map. Export a GLB and open Model Viewer. Open the GLB and look at what the normal map looks like. I like it, but I want it stronger. So let's increase it to 1.2. And export a GLB. Open the GLB and compare it to the one before. I want it even stronger. So I'm going to increase it to 1.5 and compare it again. Check it again. I'm going to use the 1.5 version. 12th, create ambient occlusion. Add 2 image texture nodes. Select one and press Ctrl+G. Delete the image texture and keep the group input and group output. Connect the nodes like that. Open the settings, delete all inputs and outputs. Add an input and name it Occlusion. Connect them again. Name the node group, GLTF settings. Create a new image in 2K without alpha. Select the image texture, open the render settings, and set the engine to cycles. Then go to Bake and choose Bake Type, Ambient Occlusion. Make sure to select the image texture and the model. I'll show you what happens if you don't do it. So select both and press Bake. Now it works. There it is. Now we save the AO map. Make sure to select non-color and connect the nodes. Now I export it as a GLB and look at the model in Model Viewer. You can see the occlusion map, but for my preferences, it was a little bit too bright. I open the occlusion map in Photoshop and make it a little darker. So I export it, load it on my model, export a GLB and compare it again. I like it. Always save the file. 13. Create reflection. Enter Vertex Paint mode. Set View Display to Solid mode. Go to Data, then to Color Attribute, and add an attribute called Gloss. Adjust the strength and choose white paint. Then start to paint reflective areas. Have a look at the original pictures in Metashape. Add an image texture node. An attribute. An emission. And a material output. Name the attribute gloss. And connect the nodes like this. I forgot to create a gloss image, so create one and bake it. Always save the images you have baked. Connect your node into metallic. Check your gloss map. Then delete your nodes. Play a little bit with the metallic effect and export it as a GLB. Open Model Viewer and have a look. There could be more. Try out how much it needs. There is my final version. Reduce the file size. The file size shouldn't be above 50 kilobytes. You can reduce your data size when exporting, like this. It works pretty well. Now I reduce the textures by exporting them. Let's start with the AO map. Reduce the quality a little bit. Now I'm doing this with all my maps. Be careful with the diffuse map. This one should have the best quality. Load every reduced texture into your nodes. Then export your file. Pretty good. Open your reduced file in Model Viewer and compare it to your big data model. The normal doesn't look as good. I have a few megabytes left, so I'm going to open the original one. Sadly, the file is too big. I will reduce the normal map from 4K to 2K. The file is compressed enough. Let's compare it. Looks way better. That's it. The 3D ant is done. From scan to clean, optimized model. I hope this tutorial helps you in your own workflow. Take your time, try things out, and stay curious. Even small creatures can be a big challenge, and a lot of fun. Alexander Steinlechner.